When we think of pure joy, it's hard not to picture the tiniest, fluffiest members of the animal kingdom. Baby animals, from the wide-eyed baby panda practicing its first wobbly steps to the duckling learning to paddle, hold a kind of innocent magic that can melt even the coldest heart. Let's journey into the world of these adorable creatures, uncovering their charming stories and moments that make them symbols of hope and happiness. Imagine a peaceful morning in China's Sichuan province, where a newborn panda cub the size of a stick of butter is nestled in its mother's furry embrace. Born blind and helpless, baby pandas are a far cry from their future selves, those iconic black and white bamboo munchers we know and love. This particular cub, named Bao, brought unexpected joy to its keepers when it emitted its first tiny squeak, more like a mouse than a bear. As days passed, Bao learned the art of rolling over, a clumsy feat that had his audience in stitches. Every wobbly attempt, every tumble was another tiny victory, marking Bao's transformation from a vulnerable creature to a symbol of strength and resilience. But pandas aren't the only ones mastering life, one step at a time. In the grassy plains of Africa, there's a different kind of lesson unfolding. Enter a wobbly-legged baby giraffe named Lala, whose story begins with a 6-foot plunge, the standard entrance for any newborn giraffe. This dramatic birth method is nature's way of jump-starting life, ensuring the calf's lungs inflate properly. Lala's mother, a towering, watchful figure, nudges her calf encouragingly as it attempts its first stand. The scene is equal parts heart-stopping and heartwarming. You can't help but cheer for Lala as she sways, stumbles, and finally finds her footing. That first wobbly step, a giant leap into a world filled with predators, yet also an environment filled with promise. Now, take a moment to peek into the secret world of penguin chicks. On the harsh, icy plains of Antarctica, the arrival of a baby emperor penguin is a small miracle wrapped in grey fluff. These tiny adventurers spend their early days nestled in their parents' brood pouches, shielded from the unforgiving cold. A chick named Pip was no exception. Hatched during a particularly harsh winter, Pip's first days were spent under the careful watch of his father, who hadn't eaten in weeks but stood stoically, protecting his chick from icy gusts. The first time Pip peeked out from under his father's belly, he was greeted by a landscape of shimmering blues and whites. That little glance marked the start of his own story of survival. Learning to shuffle around, squeak for food, and eventually muster the courage to slide on the ice. Meanwhile, in the rainforests of South America, the story takes on a more playful tone. Picture a troop of squirrel monkeys darting through the emerald canopy, chattering in excitement. Somewhere in the middle, there's a tiny new addition, a wide-eyed baby named Chico, who clings to his mother's back as she leaps from branch to branch. At first, Chico's life is all about gripping tightly and watching. But before long, he starts to venture out on his own, scampering clumsily after butterflies, sometimes misjudging a jump and landing in a tangle of leaves. His antics don't go unnoticed, especially when older siblings join in the fun, turning daily treks into games of tag and chase. Every misstep is followed by a squeak of surprise or a giggle-like chatter, reminding everyone that even in the wild, play is an essential part of growing up. Let's switch to the underwater world, where a baby dolphin named Luna takes center stage. Born in the warm, clear waters of the Caribbean, Luna's life is filled with curiosity. Dolphins, known for their playful nature, start learning social skills and survival techniques almost immediately. Luna's mother is never far, showing her how to ride waves and leap gracefully into the air, moves that soon become Luna's favorite pastime. One day, while practicing jumps, Luna encounters a school of brightly colored fish. Her response? A delighted series of clicks and squeaks as she tries to mimic their shimmering movements, spinning and twirling in pure joy. The ocean, vast and full of mysteries, becomes her playground, and every day is a new chapter filled with lessons and laughter. Of course, we can't forget the tiniest of woodland creatures, baby bunnies. In a quiet meadow, under a thicket of wild flowers, a nest of newborn rabbits, known as kittens, snuggle close to each other. One, with a patch over its right ear, is called Thistle. Thistle is the most adventurous of the group, always nosing around the edges of the burrow. One sunny morning, Thistle takes her first hop into the open world. Her tiny, quivering nose twitches as she takes in the scent of fresh clover. But just as she's about to nibble a leaf, a butterfly flutters past, capturing her attention. What follows is a clumsy chase through the tall grass, with Thistle's siblings eventually joining in. These little escapades teach them agility and awareness, essential skills for when they're older and need to avoid predators. For a burst of feathered charm, look no further than the baby owls or owlets in a barn loft. These fluffy balls with wide, unblinking eyes are awkward and endearingly clumsy. One such owlet, named Hoots, is the last to hatch in a clutch of 5. Being the youngest and smallest means fighting for every scrap of food his parents bring back. But Hoots quickly develops a clever trick. A tiny head tilt combined with an irresistible chirp that seems to melt his siblings' resolve. Soon he's scooting forward for the best bites. When the time comes for flight practice, Hoots wobbles to the edge of the loft, heart racing. With a shaky lunge, he lifts off, his wings flapping wildly as he dips and soars for the first time. It's far from graceful, but it's a start. In the world of the Australian outback, baby kangaroos or joeys have an adventure all their own. Born after just 33 days of gestation, they are no bigger than a jelly bean when they climb up to their mother's pouch. A joey named Roo spends months cozily tucked inside, peeking out occasionally as the vast red landscape passes by. One day, curiosity takes over, and Roo decides to hop out. His first attempts are more tumbles than leaps, but soon he's bounding in short, playful hops, chasing the shadows of his mother under the blazing sun. Every hop is an exploration, every tumble a lesson in balance, until Roo is racing across the plains with joyful abandon. In a world where survival is often challenging, these stories of baby animals learning to thrive serve as a gentle reminder of resilience and hope. From Bao, the panda whose first squeaks brought smiles, to Luna, the dolphin who found joy in every leap, and Thistle, the bunny who discovered the thrill of a butterfly chase, each story highlights the small triumphs that lead to big milestones. Whether it's the squawk of a tiny penguin chick, the adventurous hop of a joey, or the inquisitive gaze of a monkey exploring a new leaf, baby animals capture something universal in all of us. The urge to grow, explore, and find joy in the simplest moments. So the next time life feels overwhelming, remember these little stories. Somewhere out there, an owlet is making its first flight, a giraffe is taking its first step, and a baby dolphin is perfecting its spin. And just like them, we can all take a leap, no matter how uncertain it feels. If you enjoyed these stories, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more adorable baby animal stories.